this session, Ankur? I know in the previous days you might not have got time to, revisit your concepts. So what we will do today, instead
Yeah.
of starting with the object-oriented programming, we'll try to solve the problems which were based on, the topics that we have done so far. So it's a kind of practical revision of all the concepts that we have done. And after revisiting all the things in a today's session, from Wednesday onwards, we'll start with object-oriented programming. Okay, that's the
Okay.
next
So,
segment of this entire course. Anyway, so I think I haven't explained you the concept of end. So let me just show you that. So when we create something like this, for example, I'm writing for I in Unikaksha. If I write print I, then it is going to, print a single letter on a single line. If you don't want your output to be look like that, then you can simply write for I in Unikaksha. You can say print I, and after that you can simply say end is equal to this space. If you write like this and if you execute your statement, just a second, mistake in spelling. Yeah, then you will find out that it will show you the answer like a name itself or like a variable itself. So instead of showing it on a different line, if you are simply writing end is equal to this double quote, then it is going to simply patch your all letters together, and this is the kind of output it generates. Okay, so why it was necessary? Because the question that we are going to understand later has to do something with this knowledge. So what we have to create is, suppose we have to create a structure like this, that on the first line, we want to print a single star. Then on next line, we want to print some 2 stars. On next line, we want to have some 3 star, 4 stars. So that depends on user's choice. Basically, once we understand what the logic behind it is, then we can, easily draw as many lines as we want into that code. So that's not an issue. But we want to create some structure like this. So whenever we want to create some structure like this, if we closely look, there are 2 loops in this entire structure. The first loop is we are moving from first line to second line to third line to fourth line in order to create the same star structure. So we need one loop just to run 4 times so that we will get the output on 4 different lines. At the same time, whenever I look the formation on every line, so हर एक line पे भी वो formation repeat हुआ. That means I need to have 2 loops. Okay, one loop is to advance for the rows, and the another loop is nothing but on every row I want to repeat that structure. So this is a case of something called as nesting or nested loops. So we know that in conditional kind of statements, if we have multiple conditions, then we can use if elif ka structure. But whenever we want to continue some similar kind of thing in looping structure, suppose say in for loop, then in that case we have to nest one loop inside the other. Now this is a very simple question and how we can solve it. So let me just first comment this. So I'm creating this as a comment. Just a second. I just want to give a multi-line comment. Yes. So we have created this as a multi-line comment, and now let us simply try to run this or try to create first the structure for this. So we'll say for I in range, whatever range that you want to specify, 4, 5, 6. So suppose say I am writing for I in range 5. I'll first write the code and then I'll explain. That will be better for me. And I'll write for J in range till I. And then I'll simply say that print this star or any other pattern that you want to print. And here I'll say end is equal to this structure. So that my answers of single row should be one after the other. That's why I'm writing this. I'll simply run this code. So in this code, what's happening so far? It's creating those stars, but it is not creating the star one on the other line. I mean, one star, then two on next, then three on next. And that's why I'll simply add one more statement, that is print new line. Now, if you simply run this code, it will give you the desired output. Now, let us just try to understand what exactly happened in this code. So we wrote for I in range 5, because we know that when we write I in range 5, that means it is going to work for 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's why I gave range 5. If you want that fifth row to also be printed, you can provide 6 as a range number over here. So that's absolutely our choice, that how many stars or how many steps or how many rows we want in our answer. So based on that, we can decide this number. For j in range I, so j is for that internal looping. That means you can say that nested loop is basically j. So in first case, the value of I will be 0. Obviously, when the value of I is 0, we are not going to print anything. So the value of I will be incremented to 1. So now the value of I is 1. 1 lies in the range of 0 to 5. That means this statement is correct. It will go to the next, or it will go to the nested loop. The nested loop says that for j in range of I. Okay. Now, what is the value of I? The value of I is 1. That means over here, the first value inside the second loop will also be 1. I repeat what I'm trying to say. Let me just open one notepad so that simultaneously I can write the values of I and j. So it will be easier for us to understand. So suppose say when value of I becomes 1, 1 is less than 5. That means this first looping statement is correct. That's why it will go to the second loop. Now in the second loop, we are saying that for j in range of I, that means the value of j currently will become 1 again. Okay. So this time the value of I is also 1. The value of j is also 1. And yes, 1, as the value is equal to 1 in this case, it will print that star. So the first star will be printed on the screen. And it will end at that point, because after the star is printed, the value of I will be incremented. So if the value of, the value of j will be incremented. So if the value of j is incremented, j will become greater than I, and in that case, it will come out of this loop. As it come out of this loop, it will print one new line, or it will add one new line, so that the next output will be drawn onto the next line. Next time, what will happen? Next time, the value of I will become 2 now. So value of I is equal to 2. As 2 is less than 5, it will go to the second statement. It says that for j in range I, that means the value of j at the start is nothing but your 0, or you can say 1. In this case, as 1 is less than 2, or you can say, let me start with 0, that would be better. So now the value of I is equal to 2, and the value of j is equal to 0. 0 is less than 2, and that's why this statement is also correct, and so it will print 1 star. So next line pe 1 star print ho jayega. The value of j will be incremented, and now the value of j will become 1. After printing 1 star, the value of j will become 1 now. When the value of j becomes 1, again it will check this condition. Is the value of j is less than I, or is the value of j has reached till this I? So the value of I is equal to 2, right? After incrementing this, the value of j will become 1. 1 is still less than 2, and that's why this statement is correct again, and so it is going to print the stars. So this time it is going to print 2 stars. I just hope you are getting what I'm trying to say by this. I mean, one more star will be printed because second time the condition has become true. Now, when the value of j will become 2, I mean, when the value of j will be incremented, now the value of j is 2, which is exactly equal to that of the statement. But when we write any loop, and specifically when we use this range function, that time if I am writing range 2, I mean the value of I is equal to 2. That's why here we'll get the value of range I, that will also become 2. And the range function में हमेशा जो value हम specify करते हैं -1 तक के ही value हम traverse कर पाते. That's why when the value of j will become 2, it cannot traverse into this certain loop, and that's why it will come out of that loop और एक line, एक blank line वहां पे वो run करेगा like this. After that, the value of I will be incremented. The value of I will become 3 now. As 3 is less than 5, it will go into this range. Now जब ये range में जाएगा तो ये बोलेगा कि j का जो range है that we have to run till j in range of I. तो I का value 3 है, that means j का range 3 तक जाना चाहिए. Range 3 in a sense how many values? 0, 1 and 2. Because whenever you say that range is 3, that means it starts with 0. So 0, 1 and 2 तक जा सकता है. It cannot exactly equal to 3, because range function says that when you are writing range of 5, it is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So whatever limiting value is specified, -1 is the total traversal possible whenever we use this range function. That's why when I will become 3, j will also become 3. And in this case, if j is 3, that means j can take a value either 0 or 1 or 2. So first time, the value of j would be 0. So ये j का value 0 हो जाएगा. If the value of j is equal to 0, so 0 obviously lies in this range of 3. And that's why it is going to print single star. Then the value of j will be incremented to 1. Again, it will check whether 1 lies in the range 3 or not. Yes, 1 also lies in the range of 3. That's why it will add one more star. So previously there was 1 star already there. Now it is going to add one more star. And the value of j will be incremented to 2 now. As the value of j has become 2, it will again check whether this is still satisfying the given range condition or not. Yes, it is still satisfying the given range condition, and that's why one more star will be added to the existing number of stars. So ये ऐसे structure बन जाएगा आपके third line. It will increment the value and the value of j will become 3. But as soon as the value of j becomes 3, it will not satisfy the second for loop that we have written, because in the second for loop, the range is equal to 3, and when range is equal to 3, it can accept only 0, 1 and 2. That means this will become unacceptable condition, and that's why it will come out of the loop and will give one line or will print one line. After that, again the value of I will be incremented. This time the value of I will become 4. When value of I becomes 4, it will simply check whether 4 lies in range of 5. So yes, 4 lies in a range of 5. That means this condition is true. It will go to the inner loop. In inner loop, it will set that j has to run till the range of 4. If j is running till the range of 4, that means j can accept the value 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the acceptable values for the j. J cannot accept the value 4 because again the same rule. When you say range 4 or when you say range n, that time we can access the numbers only till n minus 1. So first time the value of j is equal to 0 in the inner loop. It will check that yes, 0 lies in the given range. That's why it is going to print 1 star. So 1 star आ जाएगा. उसके बाद the value of j will be incremented. J will become 1 now. 1 lies still in the given range. The condition is still true. So it will add one more star to the existing star. After that, the value of j will be incremented. The value of updated j is equal to 2 now. Again, it will check whether this 2 lies in the given range of values or not. Yes, the condition is true. So 1 star will be added. After adding the star, it will increment the value of j. J will become 3 now. It will check whether 3 lies in the range. Yes, 3 do lies in the range. So this condition is still satisfied. So it will add one more star to the existing star. So I'll get 4 stars. It will check or it will increment the value of j is equal to 4 now. When the value of j becomes 4, that time it doesn't lie in the given range, and that's why it will come out of the loop. So जैसे ये loop से बाहर आएगा, that time the value of I will be incremented, value of I will become 5. When value of I becomes 5, it checks the value of I with the range of I that we have specified. So I के लिए जो range specify किया था वो 5 का था. So if value of I range is 5, that means it can only accept 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? So it can't accept the value 5 because you are saying range 5, so 0 से अगर start करोगे, so that time it can take only 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 as a value. And that's the reason your condition for the first for loop will be not satisfied or will be dissatisfied, and because of that it will come out of the first for loop. अगर वो first for loop से बाहर आ रहा है, so obviously it will not go inside the second for loop, and because of that nothing will be printed on the screen, and like this you will get the output on the screen. If you are writing range is equal to 10 over here, so based on that आपको उतने patterns या फिर उतने बार उसका repetition मिलेगा. So here what we need to understand that when we want to create this type of structure, that time we need one for loop to simply iterate through the rows, and second for loop that will help you to plot that structure, plot that repeated structure again and again. So that's the reason we have used loop inside the loop in order to create the structure. I just hope this working of nested for loop is clear for you. If you haven't understood, we can discuss it for one more time. So just let me know if you have understood this working of for inside for.
Yeah, earlier I had some issue, but when I was going through again with the examples, so I think it's clear now.
Okay, okay. So let us simply try one more such pattern to draw so that we'll get an idea that whether we are in a correct direction or not. So suppose we want some pattern like this: star, 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 3 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, star, star, and star. Now suppose we want to plot such kind of structure. Just give it a try. We will discuss about it, but first think that how we should write the looping structure here. Just hope the question is clear. For a simplicity, I will add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will look a proper structure.
Let me just try.
Yes, yes, sure. You simply need to write the above created structure 2 times, but just you have to play with the range wala part. That's the hint.
Yeah, I think yes, I understood.
Okay, so we'll simply try this together.
Yeah.
So, okay, so first of all, we want to create that structure. So we'll keep the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 तक जाना है. ठीक है, this will draw 5 in the next range. So we can try similar logic, that is for I in range of say 5 and for j in range of I. Here we'll simply print that star like we have printed previously, and we'll say end is equal to this, so that your values will be one beside the other. And then after every ith iteration, we'll print one new line. So this stands for new line /n. So it will print one new line after every ith iteration. So there won't be, all the values will not flooded up in a single line. And then we'll say draw a next loop for I in range. We want 5 values. So we have to start with 5 now, because otherwise if we simply specify a single number, तो वो 0 से start करेगा. यहाँ पे मुझे 5 से start करना है, decrement करते जाना है. So from 5 मुझे 0 तक आना है. But obviously 0 तक आना है मतलब 0 तो कभी I mean होगा नहीं, because end -1 ही होता है. That means it will be always 1 but not 0. And यहाँ पे decrement करना है value. In the first iteration I want value to be 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and so on. And that's why instead of 1 I'll write -1. So in range function at max we can pass 3 arguments. You can even pass single argument or 2 arguments or 3 arguments. अगर single argument pass करते हैं तो फिर it considers from 0 till n-1 as a value of the range. If we pass 2 arguments तो फिर first value से लेके second value -1. For example, if you are writing 10, 20, तो अगर number print करना है तो 10 से लेके 19 तक number print हो जाता है. And then if you are writing 5, 0, -1, so it will start from 5 and till 0 matlab it won't reach exact 0, because again exact 0 nahi ho sakta as it is a range. So it will go till 1, and -1, that means we want to decrement it. So the rest of the logic will be exactly the same. For j in range of I, we'll simply say print that value star or whatever structure that we want. And again, the end part is going to remain exactly the same. End is equal to this. And for loop के बाहर, nested for loop के बाहर, we'll simply write new line. And we'll run the structure. Yeah, this was the expected structure that we are getting now. So first it will take the value of I from 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the value of j will be, again, you are specifying I as a condition. That means it will be always less than one value of I. I just hope the statement is clear, because when you write for j in range of I, तो j का value हमेशा I से एक कम ही होगा, because your limit is I. When you are saying that I को 5 का limit है and j को I का limit है, so I का जो भी value रहेगा -1 value तक ही आपका j iterate हो पाएगा. That's basically what this indicates. That means if I can range till 5, your j can range till 4. That's basically the meaning of the statement. Similarly, यहाँ पे भी we are saying that your reverse loop में your loop should start with 5. It should go till 0. That means till 1, because plus 0 तक जा नहीं सकता, तो उसका एक step condition previous रहेगा. And -1 because we are moving into the decremented direction. So in this case, the value of I at the start will be equal to 5. So value of I starting में 5 रहेगा, and here I should have written j. कुछ भी लिखोगे चलेगा, ऐसे कुछ issue नहीं है. For j in range of I, so starting में you are writing j should range how much? Till 5. That means if j is ranging till 5, because the value of I at the start is 5, so that's why इसको जो first condition मिलेगा वो first condition में ही उसका limit 5 हो जाएगा. That's basically what it is trying to tell you. And then as the value of j is equal to 5 this time, so it is going to print that many number of stars. Then the value will be decremented because you are writing -1 over here. So I का value decrement होगा, because of that j का value भी decrement होगा. As the value of j is decremented, number of stars will be decremented. Again, the value of I is incremented, because of that value of j will be automatically decremented. Because of that your number of stars will also be decremented. So that's basically how this second for loop is going to work. So as I said, logic uska wahi hai, exactly same as that of the first for loop. What is the thing that only going to change is the way in which we are going to write the loop. एक बार once you understand कि इसका range क्या होना चाहिए, that time you can easily understand कि उसका flow कैसे जाएगा. But यहाँ पे इस program का USP यही था that you need to understand how the range should be used properly in order to get the proper outputs. I just hope this part is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
So you can try running this if you want. If you have installed Python, otherwise we'll go to the next question.
Yeah,
next-
I did. Yeah,
Okay, you tried, na? No issues.
yeah, try that.
One is slightly easier compared to that of this. We'll take a question. Something like this. Write a program that prints all numbers from 0 to 6 except 3, and let us see some other number. 3 and 5.
Okay.
Sure. This is the question. How will we solve this question?
Okay.
What should be the approach? Sorry, so let us just discuss about this question. So the question says that you have to write a program that prints all the numbers in between 0 to 6 except 3 and 5. So if we just look at the first half of the question, it says that you have to print the numbers from 0 to 6. That means it's a kind of repetitive entity or repetitive activity. Whenever we want to perform repetitive activity, we have to use loop. So the first thing is clear, कि मुझे loop use करना है. But when I closely look at the next half of this question, it says that when the value of 3 or 5 has been reached, that time we have to, or we don't have to write that one. So this is a looping kind of activity, but whenever certain condition or certain criteria is fulfilled, that time we have to break that. So whenever there is some kind of question given to us, which says that something is going in a continuous manner, something is continuously running inside the loop, but when the certain criteria is achieved, that time we have to either break that loop or that time we have to deviate that. So अगर ऐसे situations आते हैं, then in every programming language we are provided with one criteria which is called as break and continue. So break का भी use करते हैं. So when you want that after meeting a certain criteria your loop to exit completely, that time we can call it as a break. But continue किसको बोलेंगे? Continue is like when a certain criteria has been reached, we are simply ignoring that thing and moving ahead in order to check the next criteria. That's basically what we mean by continue. So अगर यहाँ पे break use करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Once it will find out 3, it will break the loop, and as it breaks the loop, it will not iterate to the next condition. मुझे 3 के बाद loop को break नहीं करना. I'm simply saying that I just don't want 3 and 5, but apart from that, I want my loop to print all the other values. That's why break is not a proper kind of solution in order to answer this question. And so we have to use continue, because structure of continue says that if that certain criteria has been reached, that time we are going to deviate the flow of the loop slightly. We are simply going to ignore those certain iterations, and बाकी के जो भी आपके iterations या फिर बाकी के जो भी आपके loop iterations है उसको हमें complete करना है. And so अगर इसको code structure में if we want to write this certain thing, then we can say for I in range 7. The reason is we want to print the numbers till 6, and that's why we will specify the range as 7. We'll say that if the value of I reaches to 3, we have given with the two criterias. So we will use or over here. We can't use and, because if I write something like this, that 3 and 5 है ना, okay. If instead of or if I would have written and, तो उसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जब भी I का वैल्यू 5 एंड I का वैल्यू 3 एक टाइम पे होता है तो एक सर्टेन एक्टिविटी करना है. It's absolutely impossible to have two different values for I simultaneously at one single point, and that's why and is not a correct option. We have to use or. So we are saying that if the value of I becomes 3 or value of I becomes 5, that time what you have to do is simply we have to continue this. So continue से क्या होगा? It will skip that iteration, and जो next आपका flow है वो normal flow होगा. Next आपके iterations पे या loop पे उसका कोई भी impact नहीं होगा. And then as we want to print those values, so inside for loop we'll simply write this print I. So how the execution would go? Execution ऐसे होगा. When you say for I in range 7, the value of I at the first point will become 0. 0 lies in the range of 7, so it will check or it will go to the next statement, that's the if statement. It will check itself, am I equal to 3, am I equal to 5? Both the conditions are false. That's why continue will not come into the picture. It will print the value, so 0 will be printed on the screen. The value of I will be incremented to 1. It will check 1 lies in the range. Yes, 1 lies in the given range. Is 1 equal to 3 or 1 equal to 5? No, both the situations are false. It will not run the continue because यहाँ पे if loop ही false हो गया, it will print the value. So value will be printed as 1. I will be incremented to 2. 2 lies in the given range. 2 is not 3. Neither 2 is equal to 5. So continue work नहीं करेगा and आपका 2 ये जो value है वो screen पे print होगा. When the value will become 3, that time 3 lies in the range, it will go to this if statement, 3 equal to 3, this will become true, and because of that, your entire if statement true result generate करेगा. Once it generates true result, that time continue activate होगा, and because of that, 3 will not be printed on the screen. Okay, so ये print यहाँ पे work नहीं करेगा because 3 print ही नहीं होगा as it moved inside the continue. Continue loop को skip करता है या फिर continue उस certain value को skip करता है, and so the value will be incremented to 4. 4 is not 3, 4 is not 5, so continue will not come into the picture. 4 will be printed. When the value becomes 5, again this condition becomes activated or this condition becomes true. That's why continue comes into the picture. As continue comes, loop skip होगा, value print नहीं होगा, value will be incremented to 6. 6 will be printed because 6 is neither 3 nor 5. And that's why whenever we run the statement, that time we'll find out that it's printing 0, 1, 2, 4 and 6. So it is skipping that 3 and 5. That's basically how you can wisely use continue in the situations where you want to break the loop, but after breaking or that flow of that loop, you just don't want to come out of that loop. In fact, after breaking, आपको skip करना है. You just want to skip that situation, or you simply want to skip that certain iteration. So that's basically what we mean by continue. So I just hope this part is clear.
Yeah, this is clear.
Okay, that's great. So one more question based on similar type of thing, we can take something like this. Okay, write numbers till 50, 1 to 50. For numbers which are multiple of 3, just print something called as quiz. You can print anything. If the number is multiple of 5, then we can write buzz. Multiple of 5, then print buzz. And if number is multiple of 3 and 5, like 15, 30, and so on, then we have to print both together, that is fizzbuzz. You can print anything at that point, it's just simply a name. So yeah, this is the question, and again you have to think the logic to write this type of question or this type of answer.
Okay, let me try.
Yeah, you can do it using simple if else as well. Yes, simple if else bhi chalega, try kar.
ठीक है.
फर्स्ट चेक, अगर इफ से कर रहे हो ना तो पहले 3 and 5 का कंबाइंड कंडीशन पहले चेक करो,
अच्छा.
अदरवाइज आपका आंसर एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं आए.
Okay. और मैंने ये लॉजिक लगा रहा हूँ कि फॉर I in range 51.
परफेक्ट.
ठीक है. If I is divisible by 3,
3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . प्रिंट, हाँ वो वर्ड प्रिंट करना है आपको, फिज या फिर बज,
हाँ
जो भी रहेगा। मैं रीजन से कितना बोल रही हूँ क्योंकि अगर आपने 3 वाला कंडीशन पहले लिखा ना, तो जैसे वो 15 पे जाएगा तो 15 वो पहले ही चेक करेगा कि 3 से डिविजिबल है क्या, तो 3 से डिविजिबल मिलेगा एंड वो वहां पे फिज लिख देगा। वी वांट के
अच्छा
15 पे उसको फिज बस लिखना है, सो दैट्स द रीजन जो 5 एंड 3 वाला कंडीशन है उसको पहले लिखना पड़ेगा, सो वो इजीली ट्रैप हो जाए। बिकॉज इफ एल्स में जब ये लूप में जाता है ना, सो इफ फर्स्ट लूप इज करेक्ट इट प्रिंट्स द स्टेटमेंट इनसाइड दैट, तो वो एल्स के पास देखता नहीं है, आई मीन एल्स इफ के कंडीशंस के पास नहीं देखता। इफ द फर्स्ट
हाँ
इफ इज रॉन्ग देन इट गोज टू द सेकंड, इफ सेकंड में ट्रैप हो गया तो बाहर आता है, थर्ड में ट्रैप हो गया तो
अच्छा
बाहर आता है, थर्ड में भी ट्रैप नहीं हुआ तो फाइनली वो एल्स पे जाता है। सो दैट्स द रीजन कि पहला कंडीशन आपका जो ज्यादा कॉम्प्राइज करता है उसको पहले लिखो एंड देन यू कैन राइट द नेक्स्ट। आई जस्ट होप यू गॉट द रीजन।
इसमें जो मैंने रिजल्ट, मेरा जो आउटपुट आ रहा है, मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि मैंने क्या अभी तक करा है।
You
जस्ट
can
टाइप
simply
कर रहा हूँ।
copy that. That would be better.
या लेट मी जस्ट पुट इट ऑन चार्ट।
Hmm. Hmm. तो ये क्या करेगा, जो भी नंबर्स 3 से डिविजिबल, हाँ अभी आपने आई मॉड 3 लिखा है, बट आई मॉड 3 मतलब उसका आंसर चेक करना पड़ेगा ना डी, सो यू हैव टू राइट इफ आई मॉड 3 इक्वल्स टू 0 देन यू आर चेकिंग द डिविजिबिलिटी।
ओ ओके ओके।
हाँ सो ये उसको डिविजिबिलिटी चेक नहीं करेगा, इट इज सिंपली सेइंग दैट आई मॉड 3 ओके, तो ये एक्सप्रेशन हो गया। वी वांट टू से
अच्छा
दैट अगर इस एक्सप्रेशन का रिजल्ट इज इक्वल टू 0 देन इट इज डिविजिबल। So yes, you are moving into the correct direction. So let us try to have some R&D about this. So if you are writing for I in range 51, as you perfectly said, because you want a number till 50. So we have to write range 1 greater than that. Then इसके अंदर हम लिखेंगे if the value of I when divided by 3 becomes 0 and value of I divided by 5 becomes 0. मतलब अगर ये
ओके।
नंबर 3 से एंड 5 से दोनों से भी डिविजिबल है, इन दैट केस वी विल प्रिंट दैट फिजबर्स्ट। इफ इट इज नॉट, मतलब दोनों से डिविजिबल नहीं है, देन इट विल चेक द नेक्स्ट इफ स्टेटमेंट। सो नेक्स्ट इफ स्टेटमेंट में या फिर एल्स इफ में वी आर राइटिंग इफ इट इज नॉट डिविजिबल बाय बोथ but at least divisible by 3, if this situation is true, then print that is or whatever that you want to print. अगर वो 3 से भी डिविजिबल नहीं है, देन सिंपली चेक इफ द वैल्यू ऑफ i इज डिविजिबल बाय 5, मतलब मॉड 5 अगर इसका 0 होता है, इफ दिस इज ट्रू देन वी आर गोइंग टू प्रिंट बस। नाउ इफ ऑल दिस 3 conditions are true, that means the number is neither divisible by 3 5 together, nor it is divisible by 3 alone, nor it is divisible by 5 alone, then in that case obviously we don't want to print fizz bus fizz or anything like that, we simply want to print that number, right? So the last statement is else and we want to print the number, so we'll write print I. That's it. So if we simply try to run this code block, so the first is obviously in that case 0 है, so यहाँ पे आपको fizz bus दिखेगा because 0 is obviously divisible by every number, so that's why this is over there. Then 1 के लिए 2 के लिए you will print that number because 1 divisible by 3 is not equal to 0 or 1 by 5 is not equal to 0, that's why 1 and 2 are printed exactly like that. When it will go to the number 3, that time 3 is divisible by 3 but 3 is not divisible by 5, that's why ये first if में नहीं जाएगा, it will check the next if. Next if में क्या लिखा है, if the number is divisible by simply 3 then you have to print fizz. So yes, 3 is divisible by 3 simply and so it is going to print this fizz. Then it will go to number 4, it's neither divisible by 3 5 nor by singular 3 nor by singular 5, so that's why it's going to print the number as it is. Then it will go to this 5 as the value becomes 5. That time 5 is not divisible by 3. That's why ये if में नहीं जाएगा, यहाँ पे भी नहीं जाएगा, but 5 is divisible by 5. That's why बस print होगा. So this is basically how it's working. Next number is 6. So 6 is divisible by 3. So फिर print होगा. Next 7 and 8 किसी से भी divisible नहीं है. So the numbers will be as it is. Then 9 is divisible by 3. तो उसका जो भी respective message है वो print होगा. 10 is divisible by 5. तो 5 वाला message print होगा. 12 is divisible by 3. तो 3 का message print होगा. So on up to whenever you reach to 15. So when this 15 number comes, 15 is divisible by 3, 15 is divisible by 5. That means this condition will become true and FizzBuzz will be printed. So एक question दिमाग में ये आएगा that 15 is again divisible by 3 and individually by 5. So what about this? So यहाँ पे वो जाएगा ही नहीं this else if के पास, because at first time you are getting that condition true and if else if का यही rule है that first time or wherever you are getting the condition is equal to true, it doesn't go to the next else conditions hence after. And that's why once it traps your 15 in this first condition, it's not going to check it with the second or third condition that is provided in your code. And that's why it will simply come out, by writing FizzBuzz will increment the value will become 16 and the routine would continue. So that's why the hint was like when your comprehensive or compound kind of जो statement था, that compound statement has to be written first and then check the individual ones. क्योंकि अगर individual पहले लिखते हो, if I is equal to I mod 3 equal to 0 first लिखोगे, so as soon as it will reach to 15, तो वो first situation true हो जाएगा and it will print that fizz and जो हमें expected output था that FizzBuzz should be printed वो print नहीं होगा. So that is the issue that you have to write this first condition first. बाकी इसका आप अगर change करते हो 5 पहले लिखते हो बाद में 3 लिखते हो तो आंसर पे impact नहीं होगा, but this condition will definitely impact on the answer. I hope this is clear.
Yeah, this is clear.
Okay, so using the same logic of if else, we will try to create something called as password validator. We want to create a password validator, and the password validator should have some conditions. Those conditions are, let us just define the conditions, that it should be having minimum 8 characters in a sense, digits वगैरह सब कुछ ऐड करके minimum 8 होना चाहिए. Then if we are writing the alphabet, then can be in between small a to z or capital A to capital Z. एक alphabet तो होना चाहिए, so we must have one alphabet and it must have at least suppose say 1 digit, and digit आपका 0 to 9 जो standard digit range है उसके अंदर कोई भी digit होना चाहिए. And suppose say it should have must have at least one special character, and that should be either underscore is allowed or we can allow at the rate or we can allow dollar symbol. That's your choice. आपको जितने यहाँ पे add करने हैं choices उतने आप add कर सकते हो. So this is basically the condition. If your password is following all these conditions, then you can say that the password is valid. Otherwise, this password you can say that it is invalid. Now, in order to solve this question, there are various approaches that one can use. One can simply solve this question using if else with the help of flags or with the help of some variables, or someone can also go for something called as regex. So regex is not there in the syllabus, but I would like if you think or if you simply search something related to regex. I
Okay.
will take some part of the regex because it is slightly good if the person is aware about regex. Regex is basically regular expressions. So regular expressions are like स्टार एक रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन होता है या फिर क्वेश्चन मार्क एक रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन यू आर searching in a list of files and you have forgotten what's the exact name of that file, but you simply know that the file starts with E and M. So in search box we simply write EM and star. So EM से start होने वाले end में जो कुछ भी होगा, but the file name should start with E and M. ऐसे जितने भी files है, all those files appears. So this kind of thing is basically what we mean by the regular expression. So Python supports a very good amount of the regular expressions, or the very robust support for the regular expression is given. One day we'll definitely talk about the regular expressions, but if you get time in your tomorrow or whenever you are reading, so just try to search about this regular expression. It's a very interesting topic to know, and आपको बहुत सारे shortcuts मिल जाएंगे coding के if you are aware about the regular expressions. I just hope you got an idea about what the regular expression is, right?
Right.
Okay. So here, first we'll write some password by ourselves and we'll try to understand how it works. And then we'll try to take a password from the user and then the same logic वो user defined password के ऊपर implement करके देखते हैं. Now in this case, what is given that we have to have a password that should minimum have 8 characters. मतलब एक तो उसका length check करना है. Then we have to check that it should be either having the lowercase characters or uppercase characters. That means we can check that using is lower and is upper. So these are the two functions available जहां से हम lower case upper case check कर सकते हैं. After that we have to check whether it is having at least one digit. तो उसको check करने के लिए we have one function called as is digit. So is digit, is upper, is lower is a kind of question type ही functions है. So अगर कोई बोलता है is digit, so उसका मतलब क्या है? It's requesting the answer that whether yes or not. So is digit, is upper, is lower, all these functions are going to return the answer that whether there is a lower character, upper character, or whether it is a digit or not. So you just have to capture that information and then you have to check that whether the value of I, that is nothing but that iterable, whether it is at the rate या फिर वो डॉलर सिंबल है या फिर वो अंडरस्कोर है, अगर वो है तो उसको कैप्चर करना है. इफ ऑल दिस कंडीशंस आर ट्रू, दैट मींस इज लोअर आपका ट्रू है, इज अपर भी ट्रू है, इज डिजिट भी ट्रू है, दैट मींस एटलीस्ट वन वैल्यू इज लोअर केस, एटलीस्ट वन वैल्यू इज अपर केस, एटलीस्ट वन वैल्यू इज डिजिट. एंड अगर उस तीनों में से या फिर चारों में से जो भी सिंबल प्रेजेंट है तो उसका भी फ्लैग वन होगा. सो इफ ऑल दिस फ्लैग्स आर सेट, then we can say that yes, all these things are existing in our code. अभी यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ही issue है, and the issue is if someone is writing everything correctly, that means if I'm writing something like this, Prachi 1 and at the rate or 1 2 and at the rate. So as per the rules, this is absolutely correct because it consists of 8 more than 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes, then it is having the alphabets, it's having the number, and it's having a kind of special symbol. तो ये correct है. But just imagine अगर किसी ने यहाँ पे space दिया, so what will happen? तो वो space वहां पे count नहीं होना चाहिए. I mean, if someone is giving the space and अगर बाकी के सारी चीजें उसने follow की है, but still if there is a space, then also that particular password should be considered as an invalid. So हमें ये ध्यान में रखना है कि लोअर केस, अपर केस, डिजिट्स एंड ये जो एक्स्ट्रा कैरेक्टर्स या फिर सिंबल्स होंगे उसका काउंट करके जो लेंथ मिलेगा that should be exactly equal to the password length entered by the user. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. मुझे ये बोलना है कि जो पासवर्ड का लेंथ है, सपोज दैट पासवर्ड का लेंथ इज 11, उसमें अगर लेट मी जस्ट राइट लाइक दिस, इफ द पासवर्ड लेंथ इज 11, सो जो आपके लोअर केस वाले लेटर्स होते हैं, सपोज देयर आर 3 लोअर केसेस, सपोज अपर केस में जो आपके वर्ड्स है 4 अपर केसेस है, सपोज से आपके जो डिजिट्स है वो 3 डिजिट्स है, एंड जो आपका स्पेशल सिंबल है दैट शुड बी ओनली वन, देन ओनली अगर जिसका इसका अगर एडिशन करते हो 3 4 3 1, then this will become exactly equal to 11 and you can say that yes this is a correct password. Okay, अगर ये सारी चीजें फॉलो हो रही है दैट मीन्स इट इज 3, इट इज 4, दिस इज 3 एंड दिस इज 1, अगर ये है बट इफ योर पासवर्ड कंसिस्ट ऑफ 1 or 2 स्पेसेस, तो इसका जो लेंथ है वो लेंथ 13 हो जाएगा. Suppose it is containing all these things but 2 spaces, 2 spaces है वहां पे, so इसका total length 13 हो जाएगा. As total length is equal to 13, yes, first condition satisfy हुआ minimum 8 characters वाला, and बाकी के सारे conditions भी satisfy हो रहे हैं. So it might show you that password is valid, but this time password is actually not valid because वहां पे spaces है. So ये भी आपको catch करना है the password that you are going to enter. This is basically what I wanted to tell you कि spaces is also very important and space नहीं होना चाहिए, without space होना चाहिए and there should be minimum 8 characters and all other things must be followed. So that's basically the question is all about. So I just hope the question is clear and at least you got an idea कि इसके अंदर functions कौन से use होने वाले हैं. So let us just jot down the functions. We are going to use length function in this. We are going to use is lower function as this. Is in this. We are going to use is upper function in this. We are going to use is digit function in this. And we'll simply use if kind of thing in order to check that whether it is at the rate or dollar or that simple underscore. तो उसको check करने के लिए हमारे पास normally हम if को use करेंगे. But बाकी के लिए अगर normally if लिखना चाहते हो then it will take a lot of time because you have to check if it is A or B or C or D or E or F or G so on up to Z. So 26 conditions उसके 26 condition capital के and then 10 conditions digit के अगर इतना लिखने जाएंगे तो obviously the code will become too huge. उसके लिए हम is upper is lower और is digit use कर रहे हैं, but a special symbol के लिए we can simply use that if conditions to check whether it is one of any given if condition or not. So basically ये logic use करना है and ये functions use करने and simply हमें for loop and if else इसी के साथ खेलना. So how to do that? So what we will do, first we'll create some flags. We'll give the names to the flag very simple. So we can say lower case के लिए हम एक flag generate कर रहे हैं. We are calling that flag as L. Upper के लिए एक flag generate करेंगे. We'll call that flag as U. Digit को check करने के लिए we'll create a flag. We'll call that flag as D. And उस special symbols के लिए we'll create a flag and we are calling that flag is equal to P. Now whenever we create any variable, अगर उसको वैल्यू असाइन नहीं करते दैट टाइम ऑब्वियसली विदाउट वैल्यू वी कांट क्रिएट वेरिएबल इन एनी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. दैट्स द रीजन कि हमें उसको कुछ वैल्यू स्पेसिफाई करना पड़ेगा. नाउ व्हेनेवर वी आर क्रिएटिंग इट, स्टार्टिंग में उसका वैल्यू 0 होना चाहिए एंड एज सुन एज इट फाइंड्स आउट दैट देयर इज अ डिजिट तो उसका वैल्यू 1 होना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट डिजिट फाइंड आउट करने पे उस फ्लैग का वैल्यू 2 होना चाहिए एंड सो ऑन. इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ काउंटर. वो काउंटर है जो इंक्रीमेंट होना चाहिए जब एक सर्टेन कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो. फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेनेवर इट चेक्स दैट आई हैव फाउंड आउट द अपर केस लेटर, सो अपर केस का काउंटर 1 हो जाएगा. सेकंड अपर केस लेटर मिलने के बाद उसका काउंटर 2 हो जाएगा. थर्ड अपर केस लेटर मिलने के बाद उसका काउंटर 3 होना चाहिए. So they are basically a kind of counters for me and I am initializing them to 0 because starting में I don't have any value, I don't have any word, so that's why I'm keeping it as 0. Next, suppose assume करते हैं that we have been provided with some password. So we'll say that pass is equal to, and I'll write that password, suppose say Prachi @1. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So minimum 8 का criteria यहाँ पे fulfill हो रहा है because they are exactly 8. So obviously exactly 8 is equal to minimum. और otherwise आप उसको एक दो numbers add करके increase कर सकते हो. So we have passed this hard coded password and then obviously we are going to take a password from user. First इसको सिर्फ try run करना, that's why we have given this certain value. Then we'll check the first condition, and the first condition is the length should be minimum 8. So we can say that if length of this password is greater than equal to 0, sorry, greater than equal to 8, my mistake. If this condition is true, तो अभी हमें यहाँ पे फॉर लूप या फिर नेक्स्ट कुछ करना है. अगर यही कंडीशन फॉल्स है, अगर यहीं पे फॉल्स हो जाता है, दैट मीन्स इफ लेंथ इज less than 8, that time we have to simply come out of this entire thing and we simply have to print that this is the invalid kind of password, right? तो अभी हम इसके अंदर लूप के अंदर के स्टेटमेंट्स पहले या फिर इफ अगर ट्रू होता है तो उसके अंदर के स्टेटमेंट्स लिख के लेते हैं एंड देन विल गो फॉर दैट एल्स वाला पार्ट. सो नाउ इफ दिस कंडीशन इज ट्रू, अगर ये ट्रू है तो मुझे उसके हर एक लेटर को पार्स करना. दैट मीन्स इफ लेंथ इज ग्रेटर देन 8 या फिर ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 8, तो फर्स्ट कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई हो गया, फर्स्ट कंडीशन ट्रू हुआ. अभी मुझे हर एक लेटर पे वर्क करना है, फिर हर एक कैरेक्टर पे वर्क करना है, that whether that every character is digit or whether it's uppercase letter or whether it is a lowercase letter and so on. So that's why we'll write this for loop because every character को parse करते जाना. So that's why we'll write for I in password. So I in password मतलब क्या? So it will take every character of that password one by one. First it will take the value P, then it will take the value R, then it will take the value A, then it will take the value C, then H, then I, then at the rate, then 1 and so on. That's the reason we have written for loop over here. हम उसको iterate करेंगे. Now in this for loop, we have to check the condition. That means as soon as it reaches to this for loop में जाने के बाद we have written for I in past, so it will first take the value as P. So अभी यहाँ पे ये first letter पे conditions हमें लिखने start करना. That whether that first letter is lower case or whether it is upper case or whether it is digit. So for that reason, we'll start writing our if statements now. So we'll say that if I dot is lower. I matlab kya? That the value that is possessed by that I. So first time the value of I will be P. So it will check whether that P is lower case or not. If this statement is true, then what it is going to do? It is going to perform or it is going to increment the counter of lower case by 1. So we can write L is equal to L plus 1. So what is the meaning of this? As soon as it finds out that a character at that certain ith position is lower case, that time जो lower case का counter है, that counter should be incremented by 1. Now you can write this certain statement as I plus equal to 1 as well. So I is equal to I plus 1 and I plus equal to 1 are exactly the same. This is called as shorthanding. इसको shorthanding बोलते हैं. What is shorthanding? Writing something like this. I is equal to I plus 1. You can write something like this. I plus equal to 1. I is equal to I minus 1 can be written as I minus equal to 1. I is equal to I into 1 can be written as I into is equal to 1. This is called a shorthanding. So either you can write this conventional expression or you can write the shorthanded expression. That's entirely your choice. हर एक programming language में shorthanding provide किया जाता है. So यहाँ पे trap हो जाएगा if the condition is or if the certain element is lowercase. Now, if it is not lowercase, then we have to check if that value of I is uppercase. That means we'll use this is upper function of a string. अगर वो अपर केस में ट्रैप हो जाता है या फिर अगर अपर केस है वो सर्टन लेटर, फॉर एग्जांपल P इज अपर केस, देन इन दैट केस जो अपर केस का काउंटर है दैट शुड बी इंक्रीमेंटेड बाय 1. सो वी कैन राइट U प्लस इक्वल टू 1. सो इफ दैट लेटर इज नॉट अ लोअर केस देन इट विल चेक वेदर इट इज अपर केस. अगर अपर केस है तो अपर केस का काउंटर 1 से इंक्रीमेंट हो जाएगा. If this is also not true, then check the next condition. Next condition में we are checking if I dot is digit, this is equal to true or not. If I dot is digit is true, that means वो जो certain position का character है, that position character is digit in nature. And अगर वो digit है तो obviously you have to increment the digit का counter. So we can write D plus equal to 1 in that case. That means digit counter has been incremented by 1. Last में, if it is not a lowercase, if it is not a uppercase, if it is not a digit, then we have to check the last thing which is allowed to be there in a password. That means we'll check if the value of I is equal to @ it is allowed, or we can allow the value of I to be dollar symbol, or we can allow the value of I to be underscore. So ये तीनों में से अगर कोई वैल्यू है तो वो चेक करेंगे, एंड इफ दिस इज ट्रू देन व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू, इसके रिलेटेड जो हमने फ्लैग या फिर इसके रिलेटेड काउंटर जनरेट किया था, दैट काउंटर वैल्यू वाज p, so we'll say that p plus equal to 1. So यहाँ तक what we are checking, यहाँ तक we are simply checking that is the length greater than 8. अगर length greater than 8 है, then and then only it will come to this for loop and it will start parsing each and every character. If the past character is a lowercase, the lowercase का counter increment होगा. If the past character is uppercase, तो uppercase का counter increment होगा. If the past character is digit, तो digit का counter increment होगा. If the past character is @ or if it is dollar or if it is underscore, तो उसका respective counter increment होगा. And final thing that we have to check, that if all these things are true, then you have to check one more if condition. What is that if condition? So if condition says that if see, indentation is very important. If you miss on indentation, तो थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ हो सकता है. So I'll write at the start. So say that if the value of this L is greater than 1, अगर L का value greater than 1 है, that means it indicates greater than equal to 1. That's more correct. So if the value of L is greater than equal to 1, that means there exists at least one lowercase character. And if the value of U is greater than equal to 1, which indicates there is one uppercase character. And if the value of P is greater than equal to 1, which indicates there is at least one special symbol. And if the value of D is greater than equal to 1, then it indicates yes, there exists at least one digit present in that particular password. Along with that, one very important condition that we have to check, that length of this lowercase, uppercase, digit and special symbol must be equal to the length of password that we are providing. Because if this is true, but if the length is not equal to the password length, तो क्या होगा? Then it's an indication that someone has pressed the space bar या फिर किसी ने वहां पे spaces दिए हैं जो obviously ट्रैप नहीं होंगे आपके लोअर अपर डिजिट में या फिर लास्ट में भी, एंड आपको वैलिड पासवर्ड दिखाएगा वो इफ द स्पेस आर देयर बट द फॉलोइंग कंडीशंस आर सेटिस्फाइड, बट वी डोंट वांट दैट टू हैपन. दैट्स व्हाई लास्ट में हम ये चेक कर रहे हैं दैट ये सारे काउंटर्स का एडिशन should be exactly equal to the length of the password. If all these things are satisfied, then and then only you are going to print that it's a valid password. And if it is not true, then we can print that it is invalid password. Let us simply try running this.
Can we make it as input also through input?
Yes, definitely. First we'll check on this hard coded value and then definitely we'll work with the password. Password I mean user se lete hain. So this time it is giving us a result as a valid password because yes, we have given the values in that range. अभी मैं जानबूझ के यहाँ पे spaces add करती हूँ, so मेरे सारे conditions satisfy हो रहे हैं, but I have added the space and let me just run this, and now this is giving us the invalid password. Now what we have to do is we have to take the input from user. So what will change? We'll simply write pass is equal to input enter password. Sorry. So he will ask user to enter password from this, and whatever password is then entered, based on that you will run this condition. So for example, if I am running something like this, Prachi 12345, and at the rate, I just check, this gives me that it's a valid password. Now I will write entire thing in small, Prachi 12345, at the rate, it's giving me invalid password. The reason is there is no upper character, or there is no uppercase character into this. So it needs uppercase character, lowercase character, digit, and at least one of this special symbol, and there should not be any space, then and then only the password is valid. So this is a kind of simple password check you can apply whenever necessary. I just hope this is clear.
Yeah, this is clear.
Okay, that's great. And regular expressions से जो मैंने बोला था, I'll just write the code and I'll try my level best to explain that as well. वो कुछ difficult नहीं है, but you need to know something about regular expression. So import RE एक package है जिसके अंदर आपके सारे regular expressions है. You can say that password is equal to input enter password. Then in this case, you will keep one variable. You will call that variable as flag, जिसको 0 set करेंगे. We'll say that if length of the password is less than 8, if this condition is satisfied, I just hope I have closed all the brackets, password, yes, this is less than 8, then we will make that flag is equal to -1. तो flag को -1 set करेंगे. Else if we'll say that re.search, ये सर्च करने के लिए या फिर इटरेट करने के लिए यूज होता है रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन में. सो देयर इज नो नीड ऑफ राइटिंग फॉर लूप, बिकॉज re.search के अंदर लॉजिक ही है दैट इट विल iterate or it will check each and every letter or each and every character of any entity that you are passing. अभी इसको सर्च क्राइटेरिया देना पड़ता है. सो सर्च क्राइटेरिया क्या होगा मेरा? फर्स्ट टाइम आई विल गिव द सर्च क्राइटेरिया that is A to Z. That means if any letter that you are finding in between A to Z, inside what, किसके अंदर चेक करना है? तो password के अंदर चेक करना है. That's nothing but the variable which stores your password values, right? So you are saying that अगर password में search करो, if you get something like A to Z, if you are getting it, that means it is correct. But if you are not getting it, so we will write not here. That means if you are not finding any particular character or any character of that password which lies in between A to Z, that time again you are going to set a flag is equal to -1. Flag is equal to -1 ये indicate कर रहा है कि आपका condition satisfy नहीं हो रहा. Okay, then again you will check one more condition. You will write elif re.search search. अभी कैपिटल्स में भी सर्च करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज व्हेन यू राइट अ लेटर इट कुड बी कैपिटल और इट कुड बी स्मॉल एंड यू वांट द लेटर टू बी कैपिटल स्मॉल, दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन. सो यू आर सेइंग दैट इफ इट इज इन बिटवीन A to Z इनसाइड दिस पासवर्ड, अगेन अगर इसमें से एक भी लेटर कैपिटल A to Z में नहीं है, आई मीन इफ एनी लेटर ऑफ द पासवर्ड डजंट lies in between capital A to capital Z, that means not even a single letter is capitalized, then also you are going to raise the flag to -1. ये जो -1 है ये आप कुछ भी ले सकते हैं. You can write flag is equal to 1, flag is equal to 100. Simply you are saying कि जो ओरिजिनल वैल्यू होगा उसका, उससे ये वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगा. You know, it's simply saying that फुटबॉल के मैचेस में वगैरह if someone is not playing correctly, that time flag raise होता है. I mean yellow flag है. If certain number of flags are raised, then red flag आपका raise होगा, and after that the player deliberately or the player has to be out of the ground area. That's basically what it is indicating कि अगर कोई भी condition satisfy नहीं हो रहा है तो आपको flag raise कर. That's basically what the meaning of flag is. दो conditions हमने search की है. Let us search the third condition. थर्ड कंडीशन ये चेक करेगा दैट if SEARCH, if आपका जो search है उसके अंदर if there is no digit, that means if no value is a value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on up to 9 in the password that you have entered, then also you have to set a flag to -1. मतलब तभी भी आपका flag -1 set होगा, which indicates that there is no value. यहाँ पे not लिखा है, okay? So there is no value or not a single value which is lying in the range of 0 to 9, that is in the range of digits. Elif, the last one, जो special symbols के लिए हमें search करना है, so you'll say that जो हम search कर रहे हैं, if that doesn't lie in underscore, @ or dollar symbol in the password, then also we have to set flag to -1. So अगर एक भी सिचुएशन इसमें से फॉलो नहीं हो रहा है, then flag आपका -1 पे सेट हो जाएगा. एंड अगर ये सारे सिचुएशंस, मतलब अगर वो एक भी इफ में नहीं जा रहा, that means if it is not getting trapped inside your first if, that indicates that there exists at least one lower case character. अगर second if में trap नहीं हो रहा है, that means there exists at least one upper case character. Third में trap नहीं हो रहा है, that indicates that there exists at least one digit. यहाँ पे अगर trap नहीं हो रहा है, that means it indicates there is at least one underscore or @ or dollar. That means अगर सारे values आपके satisfy होते हैं, तो obviously what will be the value of flag? So value of flag कभी set ही नहीं होगा, and the value of flag will be 0 in that case. So otherwise the value of flag is 0. And if the value of flag is 0, then what we are supposed to print in that case? अगर value of flag 0 है, that means there is one digit, that means there is one underscore, that means there is one special character. That's the reason यहाँ पे we are supposed to say that it's valid password. And finally, if the value of flag, the last if condition will check that if the value of flag is equal to -1, then it indicates that the password that you have entered is invalid. So I haven't run this, I'll just run right now. So let me just try running this. It is asking us the password. I'm writing the password without any uppercase character. Yes, it's giving invalid. Let us write the password by following all the criteria. So Prachi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and @ suppose I'm writing, there is a digit, there is uppercase, lowercase, special character. Yes, it is giving a valid password. Then space ka, let me just check whether it will work. 1, 2, 3 @ yes, यहाँ पे spaces count का थोड़ा सा issue है. I mean, it is taking the space as well. We have to write some extra condition to check that it should not allow the spaces. Otherwise, जो बाकी की conditions है, all those conditions you can check with the help of this regular expression. So you are importing this regular expression. Regular expression can be imported using import RE, and then you can use this search function. ये search function को दो arguments लगते हैं. First argument is the search criteria, and the next argument is nothing but that word or that certain string in which you have to check that search criteria. So ये दो ही चीजें उसको लगती है. Flag हमने अपने आप से set किया था. You can give any value to this flag, -1, -5, -100, 1 or anything, but it should not be 0, क्योंकि 0 indicate करता है कि आपकी situations follow हो रहे. 1 indicate करता है कि something anomaly has occurred in your data, so flag raise होगा. So this is basically one can solve the similar type of question using the another method, that is using the regular expression method. So जैसे regular expression में अभी हमने इतना ही discuss किया है. Regular expression is actually a very huge kind of topic, and you can find out कि ये जो आपके task है, जैसे कि ये task था, I would say that this one is easier as compared to that of previous. दोनों भी easy है, बट अगर बहुत सारे कंडीशंस है, then regular expression comes out to be handy as compared to that of writing for loops and so on. So that's why complexity को reduce करने के लिए you can use this regular expressions in future. But just to make sure that you are, you know, reading something about regular expressions whenever you get time. I hope this is clear.
Yeah, this one is clear.
Yeah. So both the solutions, right? ये भी समझाना.
Yeah, ये भी समझ आ गया.
Okay, that's great. Now the next question is, have you heard something called as Fibonacci series?
No, I haven't heard about it.
Okay, so Fibonacci series is basically series of numbers where the next number can be identified by adding the previous two numbers. And let me first write, it's Fibonacci series. It's identified by, I mean, the previous two numbers ka addition is the next number. That's basically what is the logic behind Fibonacci series. So it always starts with 0. And the second number is always fixed. 0 and 1. ये दो numbers हमेशा fixed होते हैं. यहीं से Fibonacci series start होता है. And इसके बाद आपको series generate करते जाना है. That is 0 plus 1 is 1. Then you have to take the previous two consecutive values. That is 1 and 1 plus 1 is 2. Then you have to take the previous two values. That is 1 and 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 8 is 21 and so on. So this is basically what we mean by a Fibonacci series, where the next element is a addition of the previous two consecutive elements. That's basically what we mean by a Fibonacci series. There are a lot of questions one can generate based on the series kind of questions, या फिर बहुत सारे series होते हैं, like perfect number का एक series होता है, या फिर something called as the Armstrong number series होता है. So these are basically the different types of mathematical series which have a certain criteria. वो criteria satisfy होने पे वो number उस series के अंदर add हो जाता है. So for example, Armstrong number ये होता है that if you are writing a number, say 153, then 1 cube plus 5 cube plus 3 cube is equal to that of 153. तो इसको Armstrong number बोला जाता है. So likewise, we have a different types of numbers, and out of that, the one series of the number is Fibonacci series, wherein the next number is the combination of previous two numbers. Okay, so if we want to generate something like this, then how to do that? So as we know that इसके first two numbers constant है, and that's why we'll say that first number comma second number is equal to 0, 1. This is a speciality of the Python. बाकी कोई programming language में आपको इतना flexibility नहीं होता that you can write all your variables on left and then right में उसको comma separate करके उसके values pass करो. इतना flexibility बहुत कम programming languages देते हैं, and Python is one of it. So we are writing first number comma second number is equal to 0, 1. That means automatically this value 0 will be given to the first number, and this value 1 is assigned to the second number. Now suppose we want to find out Fibonacci series, say for the numbers in between 0 to 50. When first 50 numbers का अगर हमें series चाहिए, you can change that number to any number of your choice. But suppose we are printing there is series of first 50 Fibonacci numbers, then we can take the help of any loop. Previously हमने questions for से किए हैं, so let us just take while over here so that उसका भी practice होगा. So we can say while the value of y, that is next number, or we can say second number, NUMBER, okay, second number is less than 50. You can write less than equal to 50, whatever it is. Print second number. I'll first write the code and then I'll explain. That would be better for me. And after that, I'll write second number, comma, sorry, let me write like this. First number comma second number is equal to second number comma first number plus second number. Great. I'll first check whether this works and then 0 1 1 2 3. Okay. यहाँ पे sorry, forgot to comment it. Yes. Printing first number 0 शायद मुझे print करना पड़ेगा hard coded. Then 1 1 2 3 5 8 13 21 34. Yes, it's moving in a correct direction. Sorry, first number will print hard code करते उसको print करते, otherwise वो 0 print नहीं होगा. So yes, obviously series correct है, but 0 makes it more apt. और if you want 0 को हम एक add कर सकते हैं in a given series. So now let us just try to understand कि ये work कैसे कर रहा है. We are writing first number comma second number is equal to 0 1. So automatically your first number will take the value 0 and second number will take the value 1. Again, we'll take the help of this notepad in order to understand this iterations that would be helpful for us. So we can say that first number is 0 and second number in this case is 1. Then while second number is less than 50, while second number is less than 50, मतलब जब तक ये क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल हो रहा है तब तक हमें उसके अंदर while के अंदर जो भी लाइन्स है उसको प्रिंट करते जाना. So obviously the value of second number is 1. 1 is less than 50. So while का criteria is true, so we will move inside the loop. Loop says that first print the second number. So as it is saying us to first print the second number, so print क्या करेगा? Print 1 print करेगा because second number is 1. Then what is happening? उसके बाद आपका first number and second number थोड़ा सा change हो रहा है. How it is changing? Whichever was your second number, that is becoming the first number now, because we have written first number comma second number is equal to second comma first plus second. So अभी मेरा first number क्या होगा? First number will become equal to that of the second number. So your first number will become 1 now. And what will be the second number? Second number will be addition of first number and second number. So first number 0 था, second number 1 था. So यहाँ पे मेरा second number update हो जाके 1 हो जाएगा. So now in this case, my first number is 1 and my second number is also 1. Again, it will check whether 1 is less than 50, condition is satisfied. Again, it will print the value of second number. So next time पे भी print करते वक्त वो 1 ही print करेगा. Then it will go to this particular case जहाँ पे first number and second number modify हो जाते हैं. What will be new first number? So जो आपका previous second number था, that will become new first number. And new second number कैसे मिलेगा? तो addition of first and second previous one, तो वो आपको second number देंगे. That is 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. So now your second number will become equal to 2. Again, it will go to the while loop and check whether 2 is less than 50. Condition is satisfied. Y को print करना है, so it will print value is equal to 2 because the current value of second number, I am saying y indicates the second position generally, इसके लिए y बोल रही हूँ. So it will print the second number. Second number is nothing but 2, so 2 print होगा. उसके बाद again your first number and second number will be updated. Your first number will become 2 now. And what will be the value of the second number in this case? The second number is addition of the previous one, addition of the previous two numbers. Sorry, yes. So the previous 2 का addition मतलब 1 plus 2 का addition. So your second number will become equal to that of 3 this time. Okay. So 3, it will again check if 3 is less than 50. Yes, 3 is less than 50. This condition is again satisfied. Print statement पे आएगा, second number को print करेगा. So print क्या होगा? 3 print होगा. And आपका first number and second number remodify हो जाएगा. कैसे remodify होंगे? So current second number का value first number को जाएगा. That means your first number will become equal to 3 and your second number will be addition of previous 2 numbers, that is 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. So जो next print होगा वो 5 होगा. This is basically that series would go on. You have said that unless and until the second number is less than 50, ये series चलते रहेगा. Now, if in this case, if you just check, ये जब भी consecutive number 21 and 34 हो जाते हैं, तो इसका addition 55 होता है. 55 is greater than 50, and that's why 55 print नहीं होगा, sorry. And so your script or your entire code will stop when the value of this Fibonacci series elements reach to 34. So this is basically how one can find out the Fibonacci series. Is this fine? Understood this?
Yeah, the logic is clear.
Okay, and the code? Clear?
Yeah,
है ना?
the code is clear.
हाँ. So what I will do is I'll share some questions जिसके अंदर ऐसे series के questions रहेंगे. तो वो series के questions को solve करते जाओ so that दो चीजें clear हो जाएंगी. First thing is what are the different types of series that are available. You will be really fascinated to know that there are a lot of series in the mathematics, and you can, once you understand how to write 3 or 4 series, so basically वो एक function है. एक बार आपको function समझ में आता है, then you can write the code for any series in the mathematics. So we will do that. I'll share some questions based on that so that you can try it. Okay. So the next question is, suppose someone gives us a number, or we are taking a value from user. So we have to write a Python function to calculate factorial of a given number. Okay. So are you aware about factorials? Factorial is basically, if I'm writing 3 factorial, then it is 3 into 2 into 1. If I'm writing 5 factorial, then it is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. If someone writes 10 factorial, so basically it is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7, so on up to 1. Never include 0, because if you include 0, multiplication hai, answer 0 ho jayega. So only up to 1 that is expected whenever we generate the factorial. So I just hope what is factorial is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's asked to create a function. To create a function in order to generate factorial of any number that user wants us to create. So we can create a function. We are writing this name of the function as fact. Whenever you create any function, uska function name automatically change ho jata hai, because now you can't use that name as a variable name as such. It's a function that you are creating. So it's a function, suppose say of x, because it takes one argument. एक time पे हम एक ही number का factorial identify करेंगे. That's why we are passing x. So this is basically what we mean by parameter passed to a function. This is the function definition. This is name of function, and this is the parameter that function expects. There are few functions जहाँ पे एक से ज़्यादा parameters लगते हैं. For example, if you are calculating area of rectangle, then you want 2 parameters. First parameter is length, and the another parameter is width, or you can say the breadth of that rectangle. Whenever you are trying to find the area of circle, that time we require just one parameter, that is nothing but radius. So parameter is basically what are the things that are required in order to return answer in that certain function. So it is a single parameter function, because at a time you are going to pass a single value जिसका हमें factorial identify करना है. Now in this case, if someone gives the value of x equal to 1, so अगर कोई x का value 1 दे रहा है, then this function should return value 1. This is a fruitful function that we are creating. What do we mean by fruitful function? So fruitful function is that function which generally returns the value. And there are 2 types of functions in Python: fruitful functions and void functions. Void functions doesn't return a value, वहाँ पे print statement लिखना पड़ता है. Fruitful functions returns a value. What is the use of this return statement? जो भी value आपको return मिलता है, You can store that value in some variable. In fact, you can use that function into some other complicated function as well. So for example, आपको एक थोड़ा सा complicated logic लिखना है in which user is entering suppose say some value to deposit. तो जो उसने वैल्यू डिपॉजिट करने के लिए आप सॉरी विड्रॉ कर लेते हैं केस वो इजियर होगा. सो यू आर आस्किंग यूजर टू विड्रॉ सम वैल्यू एंड जो अमाउंट है वो आप उसको अमाउंट एंटर करने के लिए बोल रहे हो. सो सपोज यूजर एंटर्स द वैल्यू सपोज से XYZ से 3000 वैल्यू उसने बोला है कि मुझे विड्रॉ करना है. सो दैट वैल्यू विल बी विड्रॉन फ्रॉम द करंट बैलेंस एंड जो भी रिजल्ट होगा दैट वैल्यू सपोज यू वांट टू गेट रिटर्न, वो वैल्यू आपको रिटर्न करना है. वो वैल्यू क्यों रिटर्न करना है? बिकॉज इफ दैट रिटर्न्ड वैल्यू is less than 1500, then you are going to show a message to the user कि next time you are going to get a penalty or immediately you are going to get a penalty. The reason is your account balance has reached less than 1500, which is not allowed. So अगर ऐसे कुछ आपको situations है where you want to execute a function, you want that function to return you something, and whatever that returned answer is, using that returned answer, if you want to write some different logic, then in that case it is always advised that write the fruitful functions. That means write those functions which at least returns you value. One function at a time in every programming language can return only one value, but वो one value multiple हो सकता है. For example, if that one value is list, then list is the collection of values. That is okay, but you cannot get two lists. You cannot get a list and tuple together or something like that. It will be always one. वो list है तो list के अंदर के elements multiple हो सकते हैं. That's a different thing. But written एक बार एक ही चीज होता है. It can be a number, it can be a character, it can be a letter, or it can be a list, or it can be tuple. It can be any data type that Python supports. Coming back to the business, so we have created this factorial function, and it's checking if the value is 1. If the value is not 1, then obviously we have to write some different routine as well. In else part, we are writing return. This is something different that I'm writing for first time. X into fact of X minus 1. So fact is my function and I have used it over here. That means you are calling the function within the same function. This type of implementation is called as recursive implementation. So the function that we have written right over here is called as recursive function. CURSIVE, recursive function. So recursive function is nothing but function that access its own code again and again. Like loop statement की तरह ही वो recurrent है. It's a kind of reoccurring. That's why it is recursive. Let me just write this code and show you the output, and then I'll explain how it is working. So first, I'm asking user to input number to find factorial of. Then whatever number that user will enter, we will print factorial is, and here we'll call this factorial function and we'll pass number entered by user. Let me just show you how it looks so you'll understand how it works. So we entered the number 5 and it calculated factorial 120. Why factorial 120? Because factorial of 5 is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Sorry. ये जो आउटपुट out 21 दिख रहा है ये इसका आउटपुट है. So that answer is equal to 120. That's the reason it is giving us 120 as an answer. Now let us check कि ये certain line में exactly क्या हुआ. Again we need to take the help of notepad in order to understand these things. So we are saying here that fact is the function, okay, that accepts one value. So it accepts one parameter, and if that value or that value reaches to 1 or that value entered by user is 1, that time we have to return 1. वो return 1 करेगा, otherwise else part में ये लिखा है that you have to return x into fact of x minus 1. So suppose the value entered by user, is 5. So this time the value of number is equal to 5. Now, whenever it will check in this condition, if x is equal to 1, so if number is equal to 1, so obviously यहाँ पे जब भी आप fact of num लिखते हो, so this num will take the position of x, मतलब जो भी number आपने पास किया है, that will be x right now. So वो जो number हमने पास किया है, that is 5. So for us, we are checking that whether 5 is equal to 1, 5 is not equal to 1, and that's why it will go to the else part. Else part में क्या लिखा है? Else part में it is written that you have to return, what you have to return? So you have to return x into fact of x minus 1. So x into fact of x minus 1 मतलब क्या? So that is equal to 5 into fact of 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 मतलब क्या? So 5 minus 1 मतलब 4. So 5 into fact of 4. इसमें से 5 क्या है? That's a simple number. We understood that. यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? So here it is written as, sorry, fact of 4. Fact itself is a function, right? So as soon as it looks that I am again called or I have been again called, so ये again factorial के उस function के ऊपर जाएगा. And it will check this time what is the value. So this time the value is equal to 4. It will check if the 4 is equal to 1. No. And that's why it will go over here. इस return पे जाएगा. And क्या return करेगा? So it will return 5. That is nothing but the previous value as it is. Fact of 4 आपने जो run किया है, this fact of 4 will return x into x minus 1. That is 4 into fact of 4 minus 1, that is equal to 3. Now when your interpreter, Python interpreter will check that this is something 5 into 4 into fact of 3. That means 5 into 4 to samjha, that is simple 20. But what is this fact of 3? Fact of 3 is again you are calculating the factorial function. So again it will go back to your factorial function and it will check if the value 3 is valid or not. Yes, the value 3 is valid, and that's the reason it will go over here in this particular written statement. And यहाँ पे क्या return करेगा वो? So originally you have 5 into 4 as it is, and instead of fact and fact of 3 का return value अभी होगा 3 into fact of 3 minus 1, that is 3 into fact of 2. Again it will check 5 into 4 into 3, these are the basic number. 5 4s are 20, 23s are 60. 60 into factorial of 2 identify करना है. So again, by looking at this fact function, it will go into the factorial code. Next time, the value will become 5 into 4 into 3 into fact of 1. Sorry, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into fact of 1. In this case, whenever it will go to the factorial function again, so there is, the value has became equal to 1, so it has to return 1. So final expression would be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, and fact of 1 का जो value है, that is obviously equal to 1. So this is going to be your final expression. 5 4s are 20, 23s are 60, 62s are 120, 120 into 1 is equal to 120. That's the reason it will return you the value as a result 120. Is this clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, so basically these are called as the recursive kind of functions. Recursive functions are those functions in which we call that function again and again. उसी function को हम call करते रहते हैं unless and until a certain criteria has been met. इसका अगर और एक example दूं, because this is a slightly new kind of concept. So suppose say we are writing something function that adds first 10 numbers. रिकर्सिव फंक्शन के क्वेश्चंस जो है ना वो ऑटोमेटिकली देख के ही समझ में आते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल जो क्वेश्चन में सेम थिंग आपको रिपीट करते जाना है in order to get some result, then that's basically what we mean by recursive. So factorial में we do the same thing, number into number minus 1, number minus 1 into number minus 2, number minus 2 into number minus 3, number minus 3 into number minus 4. In fact, you could have solved your Fibonacci series also using recursive function because वो भी एक recurrent pattern है. So जहाँ पे भी you have this recurrent pattern, we can definitely use the recursive function over here. Like in this question, you have been asked to add first 10 numbers. That means first 2 numbers को add करने के बाद जो addition होगा उसमें third number add होगा. First 3 numbers का addition में fourth number will be added. That means the same thing you have to repeat again and again, right? So we can solve this as well using the recursive function. So let us just create one function. We will call it as addition. We are passing the value n. So अगर आपको n का value 20, 50, 100, 1000, 1 lakh जो भी देना you can give. We'll say that if the value of n is less than or equal to 1, then we have to return n. That means if someone is saying that the value of n ही उसने 0 pass किया, so obviously we can't do anything in that case. If someone is giving the value as 3, that means we have to find out 1 plus 2 plus 3. If someone gives the value 10, then we have to find out 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, so on up to 10. So yeah, expected answer. And that's the reason we can't accept the value equal to 0 or equal to 1 or any negative value. That's why we are strictly saying that if the value of n is less than equal to 1, वही value को return कर दो. Don't perform anything into that. Else, what you have to return? So you have to return n plus addition n minus 1. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Suppose I am writing the value of n is equal to 10. So what will happen in that case? Suppose the value of n is equal to 10. 10 is not less than equal to 1. So ये if में नहीं जाएगा, else में जाएगा. And else में क्या return होगा? 10 plus addition of n minus 1. That means addition function को call करना है, but this time on which value? So on the value n minus 1, that is 10 minus 1. So this is addition of, I mean यहाँ पे जो n का value है, that will be updated to 9. 9 is again not less than equal to 1. So ये if statement wrong हो गया, else part में आया. And again it will say that it is 10 plus 9 plus addition of 9 minus 1, that is 8. Next case, वो 9, 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus addition 7, addition 6, addition 5, addition 4. This is how it will advance. And finally, it will provide you the result of addition of all those first n numbers. So suppose I'm specifying the value of n over here as 10. It's not needed actually to specify. हम finally भी specify कर सकते हैं. That is print addition of first n numbers is, let's call this function addition, and यहाँ पे let's pass the value, suppose say 10, and is returning you the result as 55. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. That's basically how it works. I hope this is clear that how it's working. Any doubts?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, that's it. So I think we should stop here for the day. So we have revised almost all the concepts of the basic programming today. And from next session, we are heading towards the intermediate level, that is concepts of the class or object-oriented programming. So yes, for that, आपको आपके basics थोड़े से revise करने पड़ेंगे. Not much, but at least functions, for loop, while loop, if, break, continue. This should be properly known that at which situation what to use. That's it. Okay, so that's it from my side, Anku. I hope you enjoyed today's session. So see you next time. Stay safe. Take care of your family.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ankur. Thanks, Prachi. And Ankur, I will send you the cloud recording by tomorrow afternoon so that you can revise. And you already have the previous recordings, right?
Yeah, the previous recording I need to check because I was not able to check the emails.
No worries.
So-
It is there on your email. So even if you don't have, we will send you. We already have it, and I will send you this tomorrow.
So are these recordings available on LMS as well?
You can find these recordings on YouTube. It's there on the private channel. What I'll do, since it is private, nobody can access to that. So I will tell you how to access that by tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, perfect. I think
So-
that will be better so
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
can access all the videos,
And also, Ankur, we are having our Guru classes, webinars on different courses, so if you can subscribe to Unikaksha YouTube channel, just a second, I'll just send you the link as well. Okay.
Mhm.
So, just a second. We have, a lot of free webinars are going on these days. So if you
Okay.
want to see anyone, you can, we have developing a game in Python also. And that was taken by Prachi ma'am only. So
Okay.
you can access to a lot of free recordings, and these recordings, your sessions, they are also there, but they are private because this is not free, right? So for this, you will be needing an access. So that I will let you know how you can access that tomorrow. Okay.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, these recordings are already sent to your email. I will send this also tomorrow, and you can have a look at it. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks, Uncle. Thanks, Prachi, and have a very good evening. See you on Wednesday, Uncle. Okay.
See ya.
thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Good night.